I'm going to show you a recipe now that is fantastic to do on the barbecue. So forget about your normal barbecue that you do the sausage, a few ribs and vegetables and stuff like that. No. From now on, you are going to make my bombette. What is a bombetta? Bombetta, if you translate in Italian, it means a little bomb. It's because when you're gonna bite into it, it's gonna be an explosion of flavors. What you need is raw capocollo. You want to make sure the butcher slices it very thinly. Look how beautiful and thin this is. If you are at home and think, oh, where am I going to get the capocollo? Don't panic, because you could use lamb, you can use beef, you can use chicken if you want. Just make sure that if you use chicken, you bash it down very thinly, so then when you put it on the barbecue, it cooks fast and the moisture stays in there. But let's run through the other ingredients. Of course, I had to use Giuseppe's capocollo, the one that I finally learned how to cure it. Look at this, is gonna be, the fat is gonna go into the bombette, is gonna be absolutely delicious. Then I got some sliced pancetta. You can find this pretty much everywhere. And then I have caciocavallo. Now, caciocavallo is a traditional Italian cheese that melts when you cook it. You can use any kind of cheese that you know is going to melt. So we're gonna pour on top of each capocollo a slice of cured capocollo. So it's capocollo on top of capocollo. Very simply, pick up your caciocavallo and just put it on top. Get closer to me, so then I can show you exactly the way I do it. So see the raw capocollo? You want to fold it on the sides here first, like that. And then very simple, you just roll it. Roll it, roll it, roll it. There is what you get. So very important to roll the sides first, and then you seal it. And this is gonna look like, you know, you guys call it the pig with the blankets. So you put it at one end, and then gently, tight. Bello, 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 bello. Ecco qua. Fantastico. Now that we are at this stage, there is one more thing that we have to do. We're gonna coat them in breadcrumbs. So get your bombette, make sure that you gently press them in your hands, and then straight into the breadcrumb, like that. No need to put them into the eggs or flowers or anything like that. No, just breadcrumb. Beautiful. I guarantee you guys that once you do this bombette and your family will taste them, or your friends, they're gonna ask you to do them over and over again. Okay, job done. Where is my beer? Piano piano. We are making a barbecue, so there is no need to rush. Who would have thought that at some point in my life I would drink an olive beer? Okay, so now let me show you how you put the bombette on a skewer. You're gonna have to see where you sealed the pancetta. That's where I sealed it, and very simply, 1, 2, and 3. One thing that I like to do is not to put too many bombette on my skewers. Then I'm gonna use some of this amazing rosemary olive oil, which I'm just gonna drizzle on top like that. Very willy-nilly, as we say in Italian. Very willy-nilly. Not too much oil, yeah? Remember, there is quite a lot of fat into the capocollo. I just wanted to make sure that I give a nice gold and crispy color. Now, secret of a good barbecue, obviously make sure that the barbecue is nice and hot. You just pick them up and go straight in there. Look. Like that. Not too hot though, yeah? We don't want to burn them. We want to make sure that we cook them for a good 6 or 7 minutes on each side, and it should be ready. Remember, what we want to achieve there is to make sure that the outside is nice and crispy. So the raw capocollo is going to be cooked, but inside everything is going to melt, the cheese, and it's going to be just fantastic. Just leave it there. Remember, when you deal with meat, always to wash your hands. I'm also using olive oil soap here. Everything is about olives and olive oil around here, which is just right up my street. Okay, now for the salad, I'm gonna do something that is fresh and super easy. We got fennel, which I sliced it very thinly. thin as you can slice. That's the job. And then I have some orange segments. So with a knife, make sure that you pick up the segment like that, so you don't have the skin of the orange that is going to be in your teeth and is going to bother you. So this is going to be nice, tasty, and beautiful to eat. You put your fennel on your serving plate. You put the orange segment around, and then put a little bit of black pepper. This, a little pinch of salt, rosemary flavored olive oil goes on there. And then gently use your hands just to toss everything around like this. And you create like a bed of fennel and oranges. So this is going to look great. It's going to taste nice and fresh. We're just going to lay the skewers on top. Hey, I think my bombette are ready. Look at that, the oozing cheese. Absolutely beautiful. Look, I like to serve them just like this. Leave the skewer on so your guests, they can pick up the skewer and just eat. And bye, look at the golden color. I like to also put a little bit of flat leaf parsley because I think it's nice and fresh. Bellissime. See how simple? Guys, this is how you make my little bombette, my little bombs that they're gonna explode in your mouth with flavor. Happy barbecue. When I'm on my own and I fancy something that it doesn't take a long time, I always go for a steak. I got fillet of beef, and I'm gonna show you a very easy way to do it with the breadcrumb on top, and of course, the chicory. I'm gonna show you the way my mother used to do it. It always works. So first thing is aglio in camicia, which is garlic with a shirt on, just like me, so I don't take the skin out. Then I got a little bit of chili, and then we got a good extra virgin olive oil. So switch on the heat, and as soon as the garlic starts to sizzle, you just pick up the chicory, bang, in the pan. There is no need to put water or anything like that because there is a lot of water in the chicory that is just going to release and come out. The salt. So what you want to do now, slowly, slowly, let it cook in its own water for about 20 minutes and the job is done. So all the nutritious value of the chicoria stays in the dish, and that's the way my mother always done it. Now, for the steak, I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil on top. In there, we're gonna put black pepper on top of the beef. I believe that when you put salt on meat before you cook it, salt drains all the moisture away from the meat. Now, the beef that I'm using is called Podolica beef, Podolian beef in English, and is a local beef that they use here that eats all the beautiful grass. And it's quite a unique flavor because if you see the vein of the beef, look at that. They're not white, they're a little bit yellow. What that tells you that is a well-fed cow and is very sweet. In the UK, a similar meat would be an Angus beef fillet steak. Now for the breadcrumb. Of course, I had to use the bread from Matera. I'm gonna put some herbs in there. We got plenty of rosemary around me. If you got fresh rosemary, I suggest to use it. One thing that you should never use is dry rosemary in a jar because they taste absolutely useless. A little bit of parsley. That's it. The herbs goes on top of the breadcrumb like this. Then on there straight away, I have a beautiful piece of pecorino here, which I'm going to grate onto the breadcrumb, and extra virgin olive oil. So we're going to create like a breadcrumb paste. If you see that you squeeze and it gets all together, it means that the job is done. Now, as you can see, the water from the chicory is slowly disappearing. Add a little bit of oil and let them slightly fry in the pan, because now there is no water. Now is when they're gonna get all nice and crispy, beautiful. Okay, now, it's very important that the pan is very hot. So, in, we literally want to sear them 1 minute on each side. No more than that, because this is fillet steak, should be beautiful and medium rare in the middle, so all the flavor, the moisture, everything stays in there, and when you eat, it's gonna be super tender. You can turn around the other side, like that. Now, as soon as you turn the meat the other way around, take the pan off the heat. I'm gonna put this beautiful breadcrumb that I prepared straight on top of the steak. Like that. We're gonna drizzle a little bit of oil on top. What I got here, I got these beautiful almonds that Mariella gave me. So it's gonna give a little bit of texture to the dish. And I'm gonna use them on top of my breadcrumb. Couple of minutes in the oven, the meat, and the job is done. Let's do this. All the flavor of the wood is gonna get into the breadcrumb, into the steak. It's only gonna be here for about a couple of minutes, but the flavor is gonna be insane. Oi, look after my steak, eh? If you're at home, what you do, you put the oven grill on, very, very hot. It will take you about a minute and a half, and you will see that the color of the breadcrumb starts to get all golden and brown. Oh, look at that. Beauty. Bellissima. Andiamo. Okay. Now you're gonna have to let it rest. The temperature cools down and the meat starts to relax and all the juices are coming out. This is when you're gonna have the tenderest meat ever. I'm gonna use these almonds on top of the chicory. La cicoria is ready. Remember to get rid of the garlic. I love to cook outside because all the animals can eat my flavored garlic. Now, I mean, you can serve this one in so many different ways. I'm gonna do 2 little chicory towels here. A drizzle of extra virgin olive oil on top. From Matera to you. This is how you make a beautiful fillet steak with Matera bread, breadcrumb, with herbs and almonds, served with the most amazing cicoria ever. Buon appetito!